In this video, we're going to use properties of logarithms to expand log y over z to the 5 as much as possible. And you can see the properties that we're going to use on the right-hand side. We're going to use one of these for this problem, or actually two of them, but these are the things that you want to be looking for whenever you're trying to expand or condense logarithms. And those are the product, the quotient, and the power properties. And depending on whether you're expanding or condensing, you can go from one side of the equal sign to the other. And keep in mind that this x, the b, and the y, these variables, they could be anything. And so you just want to match them up with whatever you have in your problem. And then you go, if you're trying to, for instance, condense, you would go from that side to that side right there. But for our problem, we're trying to expand, and so we want to go from the side that's more bunched up toward the side that is more spread out. And so the one that we were going to be using here, notice our problem is log y over z to the 5. And so the first thing we can see is we have something like this right here, similar to log base b x over y. So in other words, we have a quotient going on. And if it makes you feel more comfortable to add these parentheses right here, that's perfectly okay, but you don't have to have them. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the right-hand side of this quotient property, and we're going to use the left-hand side as our model when we start expanding this. And so if you have log of a quotient, you can break that up to where each of the parts, the numerator and the denominator, get their own log, and you just subtract the denominator log. And so breaking up what we have, log y over z to the 5 turns into log of y minus log z to the 5, because the z to the 5 again is in the bottom. And what we used to do that was this right here as our model, right there. So now we have expanded, but we haven't expanded as much as possible. What you want to do, anytime you are doing these problems, you have to keep going until you can't expand anymore. So after you do everything, you want to kind of skim over these properties and see if there's anything else you can do. And one good thing to look at is we have an exponent right here. We have a z to the 5 inside of a log. And so that's very similar to what we see right here in your power property. Anytime you have an exponent, you want to deal with it using the power property. And so what we want to do is we want to, again, take it from the right-hand side toward the left-hand side. So basically all that happens is the p, or whatever your power is, comes out front, and it becomes a coefficient of the log term. And so we're going to do that for this problem. So we're not changing anything with the log y. That's as simple as it gets, or as simplified as it gets, and we'll have minus 5 multiplied by log z. And so we just pulled the exponent out front to become a coefficient. And so now you just want to skim over it, make sure you don't have any other products inside of logs or any quotients inside of logs, and make sure you don't have any exponents. And once you've gotten done with that and you don't have any of those, then you can circle it, and that is your answer.